It finally all comes together for the Bengals. Mike Petraglia inside MetLife Stadium. We're here on Sunday. The Bengals record win number 1 of the 2022 season over the New York Jets, 27-12. It was efficient, it was effective, but it was not spectacular by any stretch. Certainly the Bengals will take it over a woeful Joe Flacco-led New York Jets offense that really couldn't get out of its own way. Bengals defense had a lot to do with that, holding the Jets to 4 field goals on the day, no touchdowns. But the tone of the game, and it was really repeated in the locker room after this win, was set on the opening drive. The Bengals won the opening toss, but they did not defer as they normally do. They put the ball in the hands of Joe Burrow and let the offense go to work, and go to work they did. They went down the field in 11 plays, 75 yards, 5.5 minutes of the first quarter clock. And what was interesting about that drive was the fact that, yes, they went 75 yards, but Joe Burrow threw for 95 yards because of a couple of penalties on the Bengals, including a hold on Cordell Volson that wiped out a touchdown pitch to Tyler Boyd. 2 plays later, they made the touchdown count when Joe Burrow escaped pressure, rolled to his left, and found Samaje Perine, who would become a big story later in the game, found Perine for a 12-yard touchdown pass in the front of the end zone. Bengals had their first lead of 2022, and they would not let go of it all game long. Bengals were effective in this game with Joe Burrow passing the ball for over 210 yards in the first half alone. He had 3 touchdown passes in this contest, including a really good pressure pass, a pass under pressure as he was being hit by Carl Lawson. He found a wide open Jamar Chase for a touchdown that really put this game out of reach at that time, 27-9. Bengals did allow Joe Flacco to move the ball up and down the field a little bit, but really the Jets never threatened. The game was put out of reach, really put on ice twice in the fourth quarter, one on a strip sack by Trey Hendrickson, who had 3 strip sacks on the day. Every time he got to the quarterback, he got the ball loose. So all of that frustration in the first 2 weeks of almost making the quarterback fumble the ball, today the quarterback did fumble the ball, and the Bengals, in one of those occasions, were able to recover it. But still, when you take a look at the fourth quarter, the Bengals defense came up big when they had to. Flacco was also driving late, under a minute. Tip pass was intercepted by Jesse Bates inside the 10-yard line, and that really put the final nail in the coffin of a game the Bengals really had control of from the get-go. And it was good for the Bengals to have this kind of feeling after the game. Lael Collins, a lot of people wondered whether or not he could play or play effectively as the starting right tackle after not practicing all week. He said, "We set the tone early and we carried it throughout the game." Joe Burrow said it was a great job of play calling by Zach Taylor and Brian Callahan. We were in rhythm every single play of this game practically. A couple of times we would have liked to certainly finished field goal drives with touchdowns. They could still be a lot better in that regard, but Joe Burrow much happier with the way the offense operated here on Sunday afternoon. Again, Joe Burrow with 3 touchdown passes, Trey Hendrickson with 3 strip sacks, and after the game, T. Higgins, who had a beautiful 46-yard pass reception down the right sideline on Sauce Gardner, the former Bearcat star. He also took a shot to the chin by one of the Jets safeties. It was flagged for a personal foul, but after the game, T. Higgins said he'll live with the fat lip once in a while as long as he could still contribute in a win like the Bengals enjoyed here on Sunday afternoon. Bengals don't have much time, of course, to enjoy this one. They play a red-hot Miami Dolphins team that survived a last-minute scare from the Buffalo Bills. The Dolphins beating the Buffalo Bills down in South Florida. At the same time, the Bengals were beating the Jets. Final there was 21-19. So the 3-0 Dolphins pay visit to Paycor Stadium on Thursday night for Thursday Night Football to take on the now 1-2 Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals will have to get ready for Tua Tagovailoa, who came back into that game this Sunday after a back injury. So it'll be interesting to see Tua, if he is indeed able to play, against Joe Burrow. Again, the final score here inside MetLife Stadium, it was the Bengals 27 and the New York Jets 12. Follow all my coverage on Twitter at Trags, Trags. on clnsmedia.com. And don't forget to subscribe to the Jungle Roar Podcast YouTube page. Click on the link below. Want to hear all of your comments. Inside MetLife Stadium, Mike Petraglia, CLNS Media.